Happy New Year to you and your loved ones. I really appreciate you being here today. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thank you for following me on Instagram. Thank you for also becoming a member in our Facebook webpage. I thank you. I really thank you for all you do. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your just your continued support. I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And I wish that 2022 is a better year for you and your family. That is brings you health, prosperity, love, peace, and most importantly, that brings you closer to God. I know it's one of the things that I always talk about here, which is the main purpose of this channel, and that is to help you grow spiritually, obviously in every possible way as well. As you know, this is Jim, your Christian life coach, and yet I'm here to walk the walk with you. I'm here to help you in anything that I can. I'm here to tell you that you're not alone. This journey might not be easy, but it's a good one if we walk by God's hand, if we walk by God's side. That's something I think we have to come to realize individually. And once we do that, I think it becomes an excellent journey, becomes an excellent worthwhile living this life. So thank you again for being here. Please visit our website. I know it's running on top of my head, I believe. Go to our website, check the promotions, check the different sessions. I'm working again with couples, singles, fiancés, if you're by yourself, married, kids, grandmas, grandpas, uncles, aunts, whatever role you're playing in this life right now and you need assistance, please do not hesitate to reach out. I believe right now we're running a promotion where you can buy, I think, one session and get another one half off or something like that. So check our website for the promotions. Again, you won't regret it. Allow me to get to know you and give yourself an opportunity to walk with a Christian life coach. So allow me to help you. Thank you once again. Hey, listen, today I want to briefly talk about something that's been common, I guess maybe not a norm, but it's becoming something that a lot of couples have been emailing me about. And that is the fact that I guess the complaint should be or would be that their partner or the significant other is not listening. Or they're not listening, actively listening. They're not understanding, or they do hear, but they don't listen. And down the road, we're going to talk a little bit more about the difference between listening and hearing. And also talk about the difference between talking and actually communicating. So they're two different things, and we'll learn that down the road. So I don't want to get us confused with what we're talking today versus all these other concepts, but they go hand to hand. And I think today's subject, just to put in a line, is to actively listen, intentionally listen, to give ourselves and those that we are in a conversation with the time and space and respect to be heard. And I think a lot of the situations that are finding in relationship is that either the husband and the wife or the boyfriend and the girlfriend are not listening. They're not intentionally listening. And we find that a lot, especially nowadays. We get so distracted. There's so many distractions going on. So it's very hard sometimes to actually intentionally listen to someone else. So I want to talk about 3 tips. I know there's a lot of tips that we can use, but I just want to bring very close to home 3 tips that will help you right away to start changing that habit. And so important. It is so important to listen, to understand, and not to listen to reply or to respond. A lot of us in relationships, when we have a conversation or when we are talking or we are communicating, we are actually listening just to respond to that person, but we're not listening to understand what that person is telling us. I'll say that one more time. Sometimes in a relationship, when we are in a conversation or communicating with someone else, we listen to respond, but we do not listen to understand what is being said. And we do it all the time. So imagine when you listen, you hear something but you don't understand. So there is no really communication or conversation going on because there is no understanding. So you kind of just putting in the information just for that moment to go in and then come out. Goes in and comes out, goes in and comes out. And 2 different things take place in a conversation, right? One is the speaker and the other one is the listener. And those alternate, obviously. as we communicate. But we have to give each other the space, the time, and the respect of whatever you're doing at that moment that is deserved. So if I'm speaking, I want to be heard. If I'm listening, I want to make sure that I understand what I'm listening. So we both play those roles, in a conversation, not all the time, but we have to be intentional in doing so. The problem with that is that sometimes we get lost in trying to just hear to respond versus listening to understand. So how do we intentionally listen in a conversation? Here's the first tip that I want to give you is do not be distracted. A lot of us nowadays engage in a conversation and we're using the phone. We're texting, we're watching TV, we are liking Facebook, we are downloading other things, we're working, perhaps responding to emails, and my wife or my husband are talking to me, and I'm just replying, I'm saying, yes, of course, yeah, if you want to do that, yeah, that's fine, you can do that, go ahead. But I'm not really understanding what they're saying. I'm not really giving them the space, the time, and most importantly, the respect that they deserve to be heard. So we're having a conversation where they are talking. I am not listening. I'm only hearing them out and responding because I need to say something, right? And that something might be, yes, go ahead, or sure, why not? Of course. No, don't do that. I'll take care of that later. But I really don't understand what's going on. Sometimes I don't really understand what they're talking about because I'm engaged in something else. I'm being distracted. So rule number one, give that person the time and the space and the respect to be heard. Okay, that's how we intentionally listen. That's how we show about someone else that we actually listening to what they're saying, right? Number two, try, and I know it's hard. Try to actually find the place and time to have a conversation. And nowadays we juggle in so many things, so it's hard to find the right space, the right ambience to have a conversation, right? Because we're driving, I'm at work, I'm perhaps eating and talking at the same time, trying to have an important conversation. And again, distraction is, we just talked about distraction, but if we don't have the right time and space, that also is going to create another distraction where I'm not listening to this person. I'm not intentionally engaged or intentionally listening to this person. So try to find the right place, right? Give that person the respect and the time and the space again to find the right place. You know what? Let me tune everything out. Let me find a right spot where I can have a conversation. Just me, myself, and the other person, whether that's on the phone or if it's a physical face-to-face, and find a spot where you guys can go and really sit down and have a conversation and intentionally listen to each other. Number three, which is something that happens a lot, and that is the fact that we do not perhaps give the respect to the other person. Perhaps, and by respect, I don't mean that you don't respect the person, but by respect, I'm trying to say is that let's give them the actual care that they deserve and respect that they deserve to listen to them. When I'm talking to my significant other, I want to make sure that they are comfortable, that she's comfortable listening to me, that she's comfortable, and I'm actually replying, I'm having eye contact, I'm giving her all the attention, and that we're actually conversating, that we actually get engaged in a conversation, and I'm not in my phone, I'm not watching TV, I'm not in the park where I hear the birds and I get distracted by the bulls and I hear the bus, and no. Find a place, find the time, find the space, be respectful, and understand what she's saying or what he's saying. Understand what they're talking about to be able to respond. Once I have processed the information and not try to cut it off. Sometimes we cut people off, right? Because we believe that we know what they're going to say. So let me cut you off because let me finish a sentence for you. That's not actively listening. That is not respectful listening. So I want us to avoid trying all the things. Allow the person, give them the time, the space to express themselves, to say whatever it is that they need to say, and give yourself the time and space to respond. Once the information has been processed, once you have understand what they've said to you. Other than that, we're going to continue to engage in a situation where we keep missing each other. Here she's talking, here I am listening, right? And we just keep missing each other. So we can't engage in a healthy conversation and a healthy communication in a relationship going that way. We have to be able to allow each other time to come together and embrace whatever that might be, whatever she's saying, whatever he's saying, whatever I'm speaking, whatever she's speaking. We got to give each other the time, the space, the respect to be in agreement, to respectfully listen to each other, to, if I'm the listener in this case, to actively listen to that person. So here's my suggestion again: find the time, space, and respect to listen, to engage in a conversation. Do not get distracted. Find the space, the ambience where you guys can have a conversation. Don't get distracted. And once again, give that person the respect they deserve, the time and the space to be heard, because they need that. They need that. And you, as a listener, also need to understand what they're trying to tell you, or else you won't be engaged in a healthy relationship. So it's very important. Okay, so thank you once again. I pray that you put this in practice. I pray that you also continue to practice active listening, to practice active listening, to practice understanding, processing that what you listen, and not necessarily just speak because you need to say something or respond. So active listening, respectful listening, respectful listening. So I want you to practice the things, and you're going to find that you are going to engage or develop healthier ways of communicating with your significant other. So again, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I truly appreciate your support. Once again, continue to smile. Remember, God loves you, and I hope to see you soon. Take care.